Namaste, it's Renee, and welcome to my podcast, Peace, Love, and Abundance. Today I'd like to talk about how to edit your life. You can accept your story as it is thus far, or you can edit it. When an editor edits a story, they are looking for objective errors such as typos and grammatical errors. Often the intention is not to rewrite or change the story, but to make it better, stronger, and perhaps more enlightening to read. So what if you could do this with your life? It's not about changing everything about you, because who you are is who you are. Your past is what makes you who you are today. But if you could just tweak it here and there to be a better version of yourself, stronger, healthier, and live your life with more enlightenment, rather than dreading each coming day and repeating destructive patterns that are not taking you anywhere but maybe to the shredder. And no one wants to get shredded. So even think about that. Your life. You've had some highs and lows, and the highs are definitely something to celebrate, and the lows are something that helped build character in you. If you move past it, there's that whole saying, what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. And we tend to dwell too much on our lessons learned, or rather we don't think of them as a lesson learned. We think of them as being unlucky, or karma is out to get us, or what have you. But we tend to focus too much on the negative rather than thinking about, okay, that was a big lesson to learn. How can I move past that? So in a sense, today, for the purpose of this podcast, how can you edit your life? I actually like my life. My children are amazing. My friends are amazing. Whoever it is you have in your life currently, you have some amazing people around you. You possibly have some people around you who maybe aren't such healthy relationships for you, that maybe those are some of the things you can edit out. Maybe those are some of those grammatical errors that you could fix and eliminate them or spend less time with them. But for the most part, I'm sure you can think of several positive things in your life that is worth living for. I want you to even sit down with a piece of paper and list out the positive things. If you are truly in such a rut right now that you feel like there isn't anything worth keeping in your life, then I encourage you to sit down and put it on paper. I recently was encouraged to just sit down and write out on a piece of paper my dream life, how I actually would see myself if money was no issue and I could live the life of my dreams. And to be honest, I'm a very humble person, so you give me this opportunity to sit down and write this out, and I'm very realistic, and so I took it to a realistic point. I wanted it to be something that I actually could achieve. So I was very realistic about it. But on the other hand, if money was no object, obviously I would be living in Maui. I would have a house with perfect view of the beach. If I'm not on beachfront, I just at least want to know that I have a view of it. And honestly, I started to even think about the benefits of not having a beachfront property is that when there's a storm, I'm safer. So part of my dream goal is that I'm also living someplace safe. So you don't have to get super out of control with this question, but come up, sit down and write down a viable story of your dream life. And again, make it viable, something that you actually could achieve if you could cultivate more money into your life and things came to you much easier. Because the first step to living an easier life, or even having more money, is to visualize it. There's a lot of things out there that we manifest and we don't realize we manifest it. Anytime that you say the words, oh, I can't imagine ever having that much money, that is what you are manifesting. So stop saying some of those things or making a joke out of having a lot of money, because that's what you're manifesting. So if you want more things in your life based on your dreams, your life dream, then you need to change your relationship and edit your story based on what you're manifesting. So sit down and actually write out. I encourage you to write down all the things that you're thankful for currently in your life. And even to take it a step further, go ahead and write out what your dream life really would consist of. Maybe your dream life wouldn't include moving to Maui like mine is. Maybe you would stay in the house that you're already in, but you have other aspects of that life that would come easier to you. So start manifesting and looking for those objective errors and typos and grammatical errors in your life, and be even more impeccable with your thoughts and your language, and speak your words of kindness and love, and manifest a better life for yourself. This is kind of like how you edit your life. But if you don't ever sit down and write this stuff out and visually see it, then sometimes you don't realize how you've been putting this off, or how you're not focused in the things that you're manifesting. When I sat down and wrote out my ideal daily routine and lifestyle, I cried afterwards, because I'm the type of person that thinks, oh, I'll never forget. I don't need to sit down and write it down, because I know the things that I'm thankful for, and I know what my goals are, and I know what my dream lifestyle would be. I know this. It's in my head. I know this. I don't need to write it down. I know this. But I actually, for the first time in my life, made myself sit down and actually write it out. And when I wrote it out, I was quite surprised, because I was like, wow, to actually put this on paper, I just scared the shit out of myself. To write it down, I don't know why, but there is definitely some kind of power behind just sitting down and writing this stuff out, and then seeing it on paper, and then making yourself accountable. And I think that's it right there, making yourself accountable. I feel like now that I wrote it down and put it on paper and in a journal, wow, I'm making myself accountable. But if I never write it down and I think that I'm going to remember it, then it's easy to ignore it and continue to live my life the way I am, to continue to repeat the destructive habits or the limiting thoughts that I hold myself to. Because limiting thoughts, those thoughts of, oh, I could never imagine having that much money, or I could never imagine having such and such job because everybody else is doing it, and there's no room for me to have that job, or I just don't even know where to start. I don't know this or that, and I need schooling. I should have went to school and I didn't go to school, or I have gone to school and I need to do more schooling because I don't feel like I know everything that I should know to do this. Those are all limiting thoughts. There's even a term out there called imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome is that place where somebody holds themselves back. They have these limiting beliefs that they don't know enough, and they just keep doing one training after another and another and another, or they get one college degree and then they need another college degree. And they put off their dream job because they don't think they know enough. But they just need to stop training and trust their knowledge, because some of these people have lots of training and they just need to get out there and just start doing it, start living it, start doing it, and become what it is they seek. But instead, we tend to hold ourselves to these limiting beliefs. Oh, I don't know enough. I can't imagine that kind of money, and if I did have that kind of money, how would I manage it or spend it? And it just starts to get overwhelming. I totally get it. That's where I am. That's why whenever I wrote that down on a piece of paper, it was so eye-opening to me. Again, it was almost like I was making myself accountable. And then I got scared and excited, like, ooh, could I really make this happen? I think I can. I know I can, right? That's manifestation, is I know I'm going to make this happen. I've done it before. I did live in Maui for a year, and now I have more knowledge about how to live in Maui. So I feel like I have a little bit more of a plan, and I want to make this happen, and I'm going to make this happen. So I really encourage you to sit down and write down some of these thoughts that you've been limiting yourself to. So you have the negative list, the list of the limiting thoughts that you've been holding yourself to. Sit down and write down what you appreciate in your life right now. And also sit down and write out what a typical day would be for you if you were living your dream life and money was no object. And you really need to start to edit your life. It doesn't mean you have to fully change who you are, but you just need to edit a few things. Be mindful of your words and what you say and what you're manifesting, and even how you treat yourself. Treat yourself with kindness, love, compassion, because that's where it starts for sure. And also, if you have been living these destructive patterns, shouldn't you have learned by now, especially if things are cyclical? How has life been working for you so far? Of course, you can think of some good things. That's why I'm encouraging you to just edit your life. There comes times whenever people say, you know what, I'm going to accept my life. And accepting certain things about you, who you are, this is my life. So there's that gray area between accepting yourself. That's a huge part of it. But you got to accept yourself with love and kindness and compassion. You don't accept your life based on, oh, well, this is all I've been given. I don't have the knowledge to do anything else. I don't know where to even start to do anything else. So this is my life. This must be it. And I'm going to accept myself for who I am. I'm going to accept myself at being overweight. I'm going to accept myself for being an alcoholic. I'm going to accept myself for being addicted to sugar. Yes, accepting yourself is a huge part of editing your life. But make sure you're not accepting yourself as just a consolation prize. As because you have these limiting beliefs that you can't be something else. There's totally that gray zone. I accept that I am Renee Stahl and I'm not somebody else. But within that, I know that Renee Stahl's life can be edited. I know that I can push myself and accomplish things like this podcast even. A few months ago, I kept talking myself out of it, but here I am. I am doing a podcast. I'm right here, right now, speaking to you about editing your life. You can do it just as much as I can. If I can, anybody can. I've had just as many heartbreaks as anybody in life, with the loss of my mother and 2 brothers, divorce, raising a child on my own, having jobs, not having jobs, getting laid off, trying to sell real estate, which was not me. So that's also another good example of accepting yourself. When I was doing real estate, sure, I could have tortured myself and kept doing that, but it really wasn't me. I was not good at it, and it didn't resonate with me, and it was like fingernails on the chalkboard completely every time. Then I started to learn more about holistic herbs, being an esthetician, working with people and their skin, and teaching yoga, and I just absolutely fell in love with the industry. I, up to this point, haven't made a lot of money, but that's because I started to manifest that I didn't care what I was doing as long as I was enjoying what I did. Think of that as a mantra or something that you manifest. I don't care what I'm doing as long as I enjoy what I'm doing. That is what I was manifesting. So nowadays, I work towards manifesting. I enjoy what I do. I love the industry that I'm in. And I also love money. And money loves me. And money affords me the ability to continue to do what I do and hopefully help edit other people's lives. I'm not here to change you. Nobody wants to be changed. The minute somebody mentions, oh, you just want to change me. No, we're not into changing you. You are who you are. I fell in love with you for who you are. Each and every one of my students that comes to my yoga classes, I love them for who they are. But I'm just there to help them maybe edit their life, to enjoy the love of yoga and even Ayurveda and fighting that mind, body, spirit. Because through that, you can edit your life. You can still be who you are, that true, authentic self that you are, but we're just working to edit it. We're looking for those objective errors and typos and grammatical errors and the limiting beliefs that you hold yourself to and the destructive patterns and maybe even the negative thoughts that you're manifesting that you don't realize you're manifesting them, but you are. Once you start seeing the things that you are negatively manifesting and you can turn that around, master your mindset and change your beliefs. Power of suggestion is huge, and it starts with how you think of yourself. So, edit your life. You can accept your story as it is thus far, or you can edit it. When an editor edits a story, they are looking for objective errors such as typos and grammatical errors. Often the intention is not to rewrite or change the story, but to make it better, stronger, and perhaps more enlightening to read. So let's do this with your life. It's not about changing everything about you, but let's just tweak it here and there to be a better version of yourself. Stronger, healthier, and live your life with more enlightenment, rather than dreading each coming day and repeating destructive patterns that are not taking you anywhere but to the shredder. And again, no one wants to get shredded. We really don't. We really do want to enjoy this life we've been given. But you just need to take the time, write down the things that you're thankful for. Write down your goals. What would your dream day look like if money was no objective? And don't get out of hand here. It's not shopping in Beverly Hills. I want you to really dig deep down more into peace, love, and abundance and treating yourself well with kindness and compassion. Those are the things that I'm talking about. It might include spending a day on the beach. That's what mine had. Obviously, if I'm moving to Maui, I'm visiting the beach every day. So yes, you can do those kinds of things, but resist saying that if money was no objective, you'd go on a shopping spree in Beverly Hills. That's not what I'm talking about here. I want to know how you would love yourself, how you would show yourself compassion and kindness, how you would spend the day if money was no objective. Do this. Try it. Edit your life. Take who you currently are and then just edit it. What could you take out of the upcoming story that really has very little relevance to who you want to become? And could you rewrite a sentence to make it more positive and less destructive? Because it starts with what you manifest and mastering your mindset and being impeccable with your words and your thoughts and finding love and kindness for yourself. Because there's an abundance of opportunities out there for you. You just need to cultivate them. Thank you for joining me today. As always, your feedback is welcome. Ideas for more podcasts are always welcome. And I leave you with peace, love, abundance, and namaste.